What's happening, YouTube? This might look a little tutti-frutti on Rooney. Two grown-ass men in the parking lot with a Tesla behind them, just leaving the Marvel movie theater to review Doctor Strange 2 in the damn parking lot, because that's what we do. And if you're a Marvel fan, you're probably a little tutti-frutti on Rooney any damn way. I got my homie James Booker. This is going to be somewhat of a spoiler review, so if you don't like spoilers, go on ahead and turn away. But if you do, stick to it right here.
Go ahead and watch it, then come back. We'll tell you what we're thinking. Hopefully it helps you see things, see everything that was going on.
Yeah, this is what we do. We haven't done one of these parking lot reviews since Dark Phoenix. That was what, 2018?
I mean, we're looking 2 or 3 years ago.
God,
yeah.
Damn it, COVID, fucker. But we are happy that we're here day before my birthday, Doctor Strange 2. James, how did you feel about it? How did you feel with this Sam Raimi movie? Felt like a Sam Raimi movie.
It was so satisfying. Look, most movies, especially superhero movies, you gotta deal with 20, 25 minutes of nonsense where they're like, this is your character. Yeah. This is, he's got to build. No, this one, I think we were 1 minute into the movie before things started blowing up. That is worth it, you know?
Yeah. And it started out with a bang.
Yeah.
From the very beginning, America Chavez's character has the power where she can traverse the multiverse, but she doesn't know how to control it.
No.
And Doctor Strange was trying to save her from a monster that wanted to capture her to be used for someone, and we didn't know who it was at that moment.
And most, especially Doctor Strange, it's always like he's supposed to be this deep thought guy, and there's a lot more going. This one, the first time, he was just a superhero doing superhero things.
Right,
I mean, right off the top, he is just saving the girl. Obviously, there's more than one Doctor Strange, but all of them are just superheroes in this movie. It's exactly what I was looking for from him. You've got some slower parts where they just had to build storyline, but it doesn't start off that way, and very little of the movie went in that direction. Right. I mean, it was action.
They jumped right into the story of who's chasing this individual, and we come to find out it's fucking Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet OP-powered witch. James, she said a magic power that women have is delivering babies.
Yep.
Well, fellas, I've always said there are 3 things you don't want to mess with women: their money, their food, and their kids. And I can guarantee you, if all the women had every power that Wanda had, there wouldn't be no more men on the planet Earth. No more men. No more men.
Right.
Especially them hoes in the Supreme Court.
Okay.
After what they did this week. But anyway, I digress. I digress. How did you feel about Wanda's powers?
So if you thought Thanos was impressive with all of the Infinity Stones,
right,
Wanda may top that at this point.
Oh God!
I mean, she put and now this was a different Captain Marvel, but she put Captain Marvel down fairly easily. They let Captain Marvel hang out for about 2 or 3 minutes in battle, and then just wiped her out really with not much problems.
So let's talk about what James is talking about. So Wanda is one of the main antagonists of this story.
Yep.
Doctor Strange is trying to prevent Wanda from getting America Chavez's power, because all Wanda wants to do is get back to her kids. That's all she wants to do. She's trying to get us to believe she's not a monster, when James, I said, if you haven't watched this shit, you probably want to go back and watch Wandavision, because I said at the end of Wandavision, her ass should have been arrested.
And here's the next thing. Remember when I've already said, most movies, they have like 20 minutes of nonsense that you have to build. Wandavision is that nonsense, but it didn't take 20 minutes. It was like 9 episodes, but it built up to this movie. It's a good show by itself,
right,
and it's worth rewatching again, or at least read some summaries before you go in to see this, just to train your memory, get to know what it is you're walking into. Yeah, because it's a perfect lead-in. Yeah, it really is.
Most of the Disney Plus shows are pretty much enhancers for the movie, and that's what this did. It kind of let you know what the Dark Code was, the sorcery book Wanda was using, created by a demon named Sithon, who's actually in this movie. There is a scene where Wanda goes to the temple. They've got a big shrine of her in there, saying that she takes over all the multiverses, and they have these demons that look just like Sithon from the comics looming around there, worshiping Wanda.
Now, here was an interesting thing. You all already know probably that there's a lot of other characters brought in who we haven't seen before. Now, my first thought is, boy, you're going to hear the theater people make noise the moment they see Professor X.
They had geekgasms in there, ladies and gentlemen. You could see the stream shooting to the roof.
But it wasn't for him that got the biggest reaction. It was for the smartest man alive.
Oh, Lord. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're just going to go ahead and cut to the chase here, right here. When they get to the part when Doctor Strange is arrested by Baron Mordo, that's when you get to see the Illuminati. The Illuminati are very famous because the Illuminati came together, and the Illuminati you see in this movie is not the ones from the comics that's famous because Black Panther was a part of it. That Illuminati sent the Hulk to World War Hulk, and that's a whole nother story. Maybe we'll get that. This Illuminati felt like the greatest threat to the universes and the multiverses was Doctor Strange. You had Reed Richards, right? You did. You had Reed Richards, who was played by John Krasinski. How you pronounce it? Krasinski.
Good enough for me.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that was a big fan theory for like the last 3 years, so everybody went crazy for him. And you had Monica Rambeau's version of Captain Marvel. You had Peggy Carter as Captain Britain. And you had Black Bolt in the movie, in the Illuminati, as well as Professor X, and then of course rounding out their Illuminati, you had Baron Mordo.
And you know what I appreciate about their Illuminati?
Yes.
They did not spend a tremendous amount of time on them. They put them in, they did what they needed to do, and they got out. So you didn't have like 25 minutes of learning about these characters just to kill them off. It was like we had maybe 5 to 10 minutes of them. They introduced them, they said what they had to say, killed them off, went on with the movie. I appreciated that.
Basically the Illuminati was like the board for Twitter. We're not going to let Elon buy Twitter, and then by the next day, fuck it, Elon's own Twitter. So the board's been disbanded. Now, the thing with me is they showed you how powerful Wanda was because she took down the whole fucking Illuminati in 2 minutes. Do you hear me? 2 minutes she took down the Illuminati.
But it was a good scene.
It was a great scene.
It was a good scene.
But at that moment, didn't you have to be thinking to yourself, how in the hell is Doctor Strange going to beat her? You know he was going to have to get some help.
And let's go ahead and say, you know, there's a point in the movie where I say, and I know the name of the movie is Doctor Strange, but I just had to say to myself, there's some weird stuff happening here. And it is weird stuff. It works for the movie. It makes sense in the movie. But after a while, I was just kind of going, this is kind of weird.
Now, he's talking about visuals and graphics. They were bananas, like waves in your coffee. She's a cup of coffee, and it's steaming and all that. And then all of a sudden, it turns into a damn tsunami in a cup of coffee. That was crazy. The music was great. This was a Sam Raimi style movie. You could just feel his impression, little hints at horror. Doctor Strange looking like The Walking Dead. Wanda looking like The Walking Dead.
And if you've ever seen a Sam Raimi movie, you know who's in it. I'll just leave it at that. Overall, I am glad I saw this movie. It fits perfectly in. And you know, it really is, it's going to steer it in a new direction. Like a lot of the Marvel universe is going to go in this new direction. And this was a good way to open that up. It really was.
So, did you notice how Stephen Strange's beard was cut like Tony Stark?
I did. And was that a hint at something, a nod to something?
It's definitely a hint. It's a hint that he's going to be the new leader of whatever's left of the new Avengers. And America Chavez is going to be his Spider-Man character to his ego, the same way you had Spider-Man and Tony Stark relationship together. That's what you're about to have with him and America Chavez.
Oh, and all right, so let me say, I am a big Spider-Man fan, but man, they did not do right by him in this movie. Now, it was hilarious, but if you wanted to say some messed up stuff about Spider-Man, this movie did it.
James, you didn't like when she said, is he going to be shooting webs out of his butt?
I'm just saying that I never thought about Spider-Man in that way, and now it's like, oh, you know, he's kind of, all right.
And in the end, Strange is able to defeat Wanda because he had to go back and he had to use the Darkhold. Now, mind you, they had the antithesis of the Darkhold in this movie, but that book got destroyed, which forced Doctor Strange to have to use the Darkhold in a way that was productive. However, if you stay for the first post-credit, you'll see a specific super-powered woman that is now being played by Charlize Theron, and you also see that Doctor Strange had to pay a dear penalty for using that Darkhold. My man is three-eyed Willie now. 3 eyes. He's got 2 here and 1 here.
I couldn't say it better myself.
Yeah, and she opens up a multiverse herself that looks like where Dormammu is at. So expect to see Dormammu in the future for sure.
All right. So overall, what'd you think?
If I'm grading this on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being the best, I'll give this one a solid 8.
8. I like it.
8.
You know, by itself, I see I get it an 8. If you put this in combination with WandaVision,
Right.
pushes it up to a 9 for me. I'm looking at the B+, A- range. You know, if you consider just one long storyline, WandaVision into this, that's it. Yeah.
Damn, my man give it a 9. Okay.
I think so.
And so then you have the question that everybody wants to know, that we ask these questions, geek fans and everybody always ask these questions after every Marvel movie. Where does this rank in all the Marvel movies? Did this make your top 10?
10, yes. Possibly top 9, possibly it may be 8th or 9th at the moment, but you know, I'm gonna have to sit down and think about that.
Yeah, but it's in the top. I know it's not in the top 5.
I think it's in the top 10 right
it's in
now.
Top
I think
10
it's in the
for
top.
sure.
And you know, part of that is just some of those older movies are old enough at this point. I've seen them so much. This is new and exciting. In a year, I might say, but right now, top 9 possibly.
10. So please tell me you didn't bump out Thor: Dark World.
No, I can guarantee you it did not bump out Thor: Dark World from the top 10. I guarantee it did. Its position has not changed.
So where's Thor: Dark World in your Marvel?
Let me put it this way. What was the name of the main bad guy in Thor: Dark World?
Malekith.
You are like the only person I've ever met who knew that. Everybody's like, it's a dark elf. Like, yes, go on.
Oh, so for you, it's on the bottom of the list, huh?
It's real close to the bottom. It's real close to the bottom. We're talking, you know, it's a neighbor with the bottom, possibly is the bottom. And it's just, now, and you know, here's the thing. I feel comfortable in saying that my opinion is right about this.
Right.
And having said that, all the other Thor movies are, well, not all of them, but this new Thor movie looks great. I don't mind Thor, but it's given us both the worst and some of the best.
Okay. Well, you know, he's completely entitled to his opinion. He has a good opinion, and we'll leave it at that. We've enjoyed doing this review. Uh-oh, go ahead.
Oh, my God.
Go ahead.
It's midnight.
Is it really?
Happy birthday, Mr. Lamont.
Oh, my man brought props. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that.
It is his birthday?
I appreciate that, man. Whoa, it's right. You got any dollar bills in there, my man?
No, not making it.
Yeah, got some dollar bills.
I have paper. I have no money.
Oh, damn. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am turning 32, by the way. And
again,
this guy, man, we're out of here.
saying,
Don't forget to like the video, comment, subscribe. It's definitely worth your time to go see Doctor Strange 2. It's about 2 hours long, and it's worth every minute of it. You won't be bored. You won't fall asleep. And believe me, I'm someone who goes to see a movie past 8 o'clock. If it's not good, my ass is falling asleep. I'm Lamont Tyson. That's the
James.
Book Man.
Yep.
And you guys will see us for Jurassic Park on the next movie review. We're out. My man had